Hi, my name is Billy, and welcome to a special breast cancer awareness edition of the Chat. Did you know that 1 out of 8 women in the United States are diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime? This makes breast cancer the second most leading cause of death in the United States alone.
Hi, my name is Ms. Jones. I'm the Work-Based Learning Coordinator and FBLA Advisor. My story and my experience with breast cancer is my mom is a 2-time survivor. She was diagnosed when I was in high school as a junior, and during that time I had a hard time talking to my friends about it or talking to family members because I really didn't know, how to express myself. When I was in college, she was also diagnosed again, but because I was older and we'd already gone through that experience one time before, I was much better at expressing my feelings, and we kind of leaned on one another. Our family came together, and through it all, she remains a survivor. She's the strongest woman I know. She's my biggest supporter, and I love her dearly. And one day, eventually, I hope that the word cancer just does not exist. I hate that word. I'm waiting on one of you students to find the cure for cancer so that we no longer have to worry about this issue.
Each year, it is estimated that over 220,000 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and out of that, over 40,000 will die. 1 woman will die of breast cancer every 13 minutes.
Hi, my name is Stephen Shaw. I am here today to speak about my mother, Eileen, who was a breast cancer patient and who passed away on February the 18th, 1997. This is a printed off picture of her. She got diagnosed in approximately 1994 with breast cancer, and at that time she was a teacher at Kendrick High School in Columbus, Georgia, and had been one for about 20 years. She went to see the doctors and went through treatment, radiation, chemotherapy, and fought it off the first time and went on into remission. Then a short time later it came back. She went through the same things again, went into remission, and then finally in January of 97 she was in the hospital with the cancer had come back and gotten into her liver and her back, and the doctors told her that it was terminal. She decided at that point she wanted to go home, so she put out all her IVs, went up to the nurse's station and said she wanted to check out and go home. The nurses got her calmed down, back to bed. The next day the family went up there, talked to her, and convinced her to stay in the hospital for just a little while longer, at which point we got in touch with hospice and made arrangements for her to go home to her parents' house, my grandparents who were still alive, and within about a month of that she passed away in her sleep. That's the basic story. At that time when she was diagnosed, I had my 2 boys. They were about 2 and 3 years old. They didn't really understand what was going on, but by the time she passed away they knew what was happening, and of course as an adult you have time to prepare for something like that. When you know it's like that, kids are still in the learning stages of what death actually means, and that there won't be anybody, she won't be around anymore. But they did get to spend time with her, and she got to spend time with them and left a great impression on them, which is carried on today, and now I am a grandfather also. As far as the family, everybody in the family for the most part took it as we always do. We're going to tackle it head on and fight it as best as we can. My brother, who's still lives with me in Columbus, is now 47, and he had the worst time of it because he was probably closer to my mom. He was still living with her when he was in town from school, and the night before she passed away he flew into town. I went up to the airport to pick him up, and by the time we got back to Columbus, he and I both decided just to go to bed, not to go by and see her. And then about 5:30 in the morning we both woke up out of dead sleep, got up and said, yep. And we went over to my grandmother's house. By the time we got up and everything, my grandmother was calling, saying that she had passed away.
Getting a mammogram can help reduce the number of deaths by up to 30 to 40%.
Hi, I'm Miss Howard, a paraprofessional in special ed here at Chatt Middle High School. I'm here to give a brief story about a best friend of mine from high school that has been diagnosed with breast cancer. It was discovered on March the 15th of 2018. There, she gave me a call one night saying that she had developed a sharp pain in her breast, her right breast. So she rubbed it and did not get no relief. So immediately she went and called the doctor, making a doctor appointment, and there she was told she had breast cancer. She didn't want to believe it nor accept it, so what she did was went to another doctor, got a second opinion, and it ended up being true. She had breast cancer. She went to the doctor and she had surgery on April the 21st of last year there in Newnan, Georgia. When she first told me about it, the first thing I told her was, I'm not going to give you a pity pat party. And she said, I don't want that. But my first instinct was to tell her to keep her head up and her best days would be ahead of her. And it was. She went through like 32 sessions of radiation treatment. Every day we talked, every night we prayed. I gave her words of encouragement to herself and to her family, and that was a really big issue. She had great family support and peer support, because she kind of depended on me as well, you know. I stayed calm every day, and I prayed every day for what I need to tell her. And things I was telling her, I was even telling myself. After taking these treatments, she became very confident. She had prayer warriors praying for her at church as well as in her family and in the community. This made my classmate a very strong person at the end, because as of the 25th of this month, October, she'd be 1 year cancer free. I have supported her in all her activities throughout the community for Breast Cancer Month this month, and they had something in Columbus, a night out celebration. I was there to support her on that. She had fundraisers to raise money for the Breast Cancer Association. I was just there for her. I appreciate her having confidence in me to talk to her through this process. It was challenging, but I know I have a source that I know that always kept me encouraged, and every time I go to that source, he never let me down. That's our Creator. So therefore, the words I gave her helped her and helped me as well. Our relationship has gotten closer as I walk in everyday life, and she has become victorious, and I just thank God for her having that confidence in me. And it does help to have someone close to you in your life, whether in your family or your church family or in the community, that walk through this, not knowing you have to walk through this by yourself, but having faith in God. And so her cancer experience has been a successful one, and we continue to thank God for that every day. And I thank you so much for your time.
During my battle with breast cancer, I had a very great support team. My co-workers here at the school were very supportive. My families were very supportive, and definitely my friends were very supportive during this time that I was battling with cancer. I did take a little while off of work because the treatments, they were pretty harsh, but I did also resume and return to work after that. I remember the experience when my hair began to fall out after my chemo treatments, and I decided to shave my head. I did not want to wait and just have it come out time after time. So me and my kids, we went in the bathroom, I shaved my hair, and the kids were like, "Mom, we got this, we have you." And they helped to clean up my hair as I regrouped and recuperated from that. It was a experience definitely for me. I would like to share with you a couple of tips. Please keep in mind that breast cancer is not hereditary. I was the only person in my family to have experienced breast cancer. My family does have a history of cancer, but no one had breast cancer. My second tip is to please be mindful that men as well as female can have breast cancer. My third tip is do your monthly checks. Even if you don't know what you're looking for, consult with your physician, ask questions. You definitely can ask me. I'm here at the office every day. But initially my physician did not feel my lump, but I did. Fortunately, he sent me out for an ultrasound where it was confirmed that I did indeed have a lump, and then they proceeded on with the biopsy. My fourth tip, invest in yourself and your family members. Get a cancer insurance policy. Once you have been diagnosed with cancer, it's very hard, if possible, to get a cancer insurance policy. Tip number 5, it's okay to accept help. If someone wants to take your kids on a stroll, offer you dinner, arrange for dinner, help you monetarily, it's okay to accept help. Finally, stay positive. It's going to be a very difficult time for you or whoever may be experiencing this, but you have to stay positive and remain in good spirits. Keep that person uplifted, keep God first, and stay focused on your goal. Thank you for your time.
In the United States today, there are more than 2.9 million breast cancer survivors. Let's see if we can continuously make that number rise through awareness. Thanks for tuning in to The Chat.